How you doing, guys? Big Mac Ghazghkull here today for another video. The reason I am doing this video is because I've not managed to pre-record my Orc video this week. I've had a lot on over the weekend. I'm trying to get ready to free myself. I'm trying to free myself up for next weekend, basically. So I've been filming 2 videos this weekend for next weekend, and then it's been a mad rush in work as well with going out delivering. My normal job is just shunting, so I'm around the yard. I need to mute this over here. That could get very annoying. Right, so now I know my sound's working. Yeah, the reason for the video is, like I said, because I've got a lot on this coming weekend, so I've been filming extra videos weekend just gone, and in work I'm out on the road delivering rather than shunting around the yard. So my work life becomes less predictable. I'll only be on for around about an hour tonight, so probably only be streaming till 8, half 8 max, because I've got another early start again tomorrow. Heading up to Cumbria and where else? Yeah, got 2 drops in Cumbria, then over to just near Blackpool, Lytham, and then to Bury, and then possibly to Stockport to get my truck back, which is in for an inspection. So, busy day tomorrow, but hopefully not too busy that I won't be able to record Thursday's video, fingers crossed. Today I'm going to be painting, well, I'm waving my hands underneath the desk camera here, but don't need to do that because it's not on screen. But today I'm going to be painting some of Ghazghkull's arms, Ghazghkull Thraka, the prophets of Ghazghkull. How you doing, Chapter Master Morgan? Good to see you in the chat. Got the Bard in the chat as well. He's been in since before the chat started. Yeah, so you can watch me mess up the claw on Ghazghkull Thraka as I attempt to get it painted. I'm going to try something possibly really stupid. I really like the Flesh Terror Red contrast paint, so I want to try and use this on his claw. However, I'm going to try and do the checks that you see on the Games Workshop website. So it could go horribly wrong because it's a contrast paint. It's runny. It's designed to be runny. It's not quite as bad as a wash. It's a bit more thick than that, but possibly I'll be a bit more thick than this paint if I can't control the paint because it's too runny for me. So I'm going to try and do the checks on his claw with that. Did I tweet that I was going live? I did not, and I cannot because my phone is here and I don't know my login for my Twitter. So if you could tweet for me that I've gone live, that'd be fantastic, the Bard, if you got Twitter. But yeah, I posted it on Facebook in a couple of groups, the Orc group that I'm part of and the Wargaming Unification group that I'm part of. So, right, I better crack on with some painting, and I'll give you my desk down cam now and you can see Gaz's arms and where I'm up to with them. I've lost my cursor. Right. You can tell it's been a while since I've done a live stream, although I did one last Sunday, not the one just gone, but the one before. Anyway, you want a desk view, don't you? Here it comes. Hopefully, that's a live desk view and the camera's not frozen again. Put my hand in front. Let's see. Fingers crossed. There we go. It's a live desk view. We have some, like I said, Flesh Terror Red here. Going to be trying to use that, and I'll show you where I'm going to be using it. Sneakily though, I've been prepping this miniature last night, or these arms rather, of this miniature last night. Tried to do a bit of a fade on the section of the arm. It's a bit of a messy one, but I'm going to be covering it up with plenty of contrast paint anyway. I'm going to go in with the Flesh Terror Red, like I said at first, and then the Black Templar as well. So going to be working on that. Oh, the Bard doesn't tweet. That's an absolute disaster. I will attempt to tweet in the future, but I completely forgot. I was too busy watching a YouTube video from Cooper Town Hobbies before starting this stream, so I didn't. I completely forgot to tweet. I just shared it in a couple of Facebook groups. But I'll just show you his arms as well, and the fleshy bits of the arms. I've painted them with contrast paints, similar to the way I've painted the face. Now, not quite the same, and that is because the face, I can't see if that's focusing. Let's see when it comes on camera. Yeah, it's more or less focused. So the face is zenithal highlighted using, or zenithal primed rather, using red from beneath and then the Wraithbone from above, whereas this stuff, this is Zenithal primed using black from beneath. Because most of the armour's black, I thought I'd just spray the arms and bulk of the armour black. You don't see most of these arms, so it doesn't have to exactly match his face, that's my thinking. But you get lots of dark tones in the shadows, and underneath it's very dark. It's almost completely black. There's just like hints of green when the light hits it. And that's just that's the or the Militarum green directly over the black. So there is a hint of green to it there. But the bulk of the flesh on the arms is going to be hidden, like I said. So it's not too much of a problem. I did go in with a bit of the Dark Oath flesh as well on like the creases between the muscles and stuff, just to try and give it a bit of colour in there in case you could see any of those muscles. But anyway, you didn't come for me waffling and talking to you about the arms. You came to watch me paint, so I believe. Right, let me just mess around with this. Check this is updating properly. Yes, it all seems to be good at this stage. Quick scratch of the ear, and let's crack on. I've not got any further with Makari either. I say let's crack on, and then I pull another model into shot. Not got any further with Makari either. But I'm hoping to, at some point, finish the armour on this little fella. Right, what brush do we want first? I think I'm having second thoughts about attempting this checker pattern with contrast paints, but we're going to have to learn at some stage, aren't we? We're going to have to find out. That's what I like about these contrast paints. I think I need to move this water pot slightly further over so it's not going to be in my way when I'm trying to get the everything in shot. Yeah, with the contrast paints, I like to just experiment a little bit and try and learn. Someone did ask me, and I can't remember who it was. It was an old school YouTube wargamer, but I don't see too many videos from them that often anymore, if any. But they asked me if you could thin contrast paint with Lahmian medium rather than with the contrast medium, and the answer is I don't know, but I should have some Lahmian medium somewhere to my left, so I might be able to do a little experiment live on stream, and then fingers crossed to be able to tell you. I tell you what, I'm going to look for it now before we kick off, before we get too far into this, and I can't look for it. It's not there. Of course it's not. No, it's not there, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to just crack on without it. Ooh. He's really just a head in a box. You mean Ghazghkull? If you do, yeah, that's pretty much what he is. He's almost like you get to see a bit of his sides, where, if you look under his arms, but you're just you're really searching for that flesh if you really want to see that flesh. Who doesn't really want to see that flesh? Got G the Hype Sapien in the chat. It's late here. I know it's late there because I've been watching another stream, and Clayton Bieber popped into it, and it was 2 a.m. and that was at 5 o'clock our time. So what is it? Must be 4 then. At least I would have thought. I don't know where you are in relation to Clayton. I'm not sure where Clayton is. But yeah, I think you're somewhere near Melbourne, are you? Can't remember exactly. I saw your I've not watched it yet, but I saw your Prophecy of the Wolf review video, but I've not watched it yet. Hopefully, I might watch that later. But I don't think I'll watch till the end of it. I'll probably fall asleep in bed. Yeah, it's almost 4 there. That's crazy, man. Absolutely. I'm getting up not long after that in the morning here tomorrow. So I'm only, like I was saying earlier in the stream, you're in Adelaide, right? Cool. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, when it first started, prior to the time I was supposed to start, because I'm a cheeky chappy like that, I'm not going to stay on too long tonight because I'm up early in the morning. By the way, if you can hear any yelping or yapping, I'm not mistreating any animals. It's next door. They're not mistreating the animals. It's just they've got a young puppy and he's very whiny at the minute. Oh, I don't know I'm terrified of using this. I think I may have made a big error. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to waste that bit. That's going in the water. I'm going to get a thinner brush. And I'm going to see what I can do with a thinner brush. I'm going to try and line it out first. Oh yeah, no worries, mate. Thanks for joining in, George. Get back to bed. What was I looking for then? A thinner brush. Eight watching, only 2 chatting. What's that about? Only 5 likes. Hit that like button. I'm still not fully comfortable doing all the old YouTuber self-promotion kind of stuff. Wow, I forgot how thin this brush was. It's like 2 bristles or something. Just about see it there. Yes, very few. This is a Psycho from Army Painter. Wargamer the Psycho. That one. You can actually get not a decent amount of paint on these, but it's surprising how much control you can have with so few bristles here. My sister has a new puppy. They called it the zoomies. Sorry, when they get tired and excited. They call it the zoomies, right? I thought you meant they'd called the puppy the zoomies then. Very strange name that'd be. This puppy is called Zeus, and I think I've only seen it briefly, but it looks like a husky or an Alaskan Malamute or something. Are they the same dog? Husky and Malamute? I'm not sure. I don't know much about dogs, to be honest. I was a cat. Well, not that I'm a cat person. I love cats, but I'm not exclusively a cat person. I like all animals myself. Night, George. Right. Oh, I don't even know where to start with this. Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to get the picture up in front of me. Right. Oh my giddy ants. Let's minimize that. Move that to one side. And then get the other thing up here. So I can... Oh, that's too big. That's gone right across my Streamlabs software. Here we go. Here we go. Nope, I don't want it full screen. Can I stack windows side by side? Bam! Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, it's messing with that screen. Right. Click on the 360 view. Turn it so I can see his hand. Yeah, that's not too bad. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish sort of checks on there. Oh, wow. 5 checks. And it's 1, 2, 3.5 across. Right. What I'm going to do is just go for it. Not thinning this down at all. Oh, I've lost the chat on the Streamlabs now. That's a little beggar. But it is still on the YouTube. It'll just be a little behind. What am I painting today? I am painting, welcome Aidan Harvey. I'm painting Ghazghkull's arms. I'm just trying to get some checks on his claw here. When I say painting Ghazghkull's arms, it's probably just going to be arm. I don't think I'm going to get much further than these checks, if I'm honest. But we can try. Oh, I'm so nervous of doing this. Oh, I've messed it up already. Not to worry. I can go over it with the black quite easily. I'm just following the curve of the panel here for the first one. I figured I'd use that. The trouble is it's not straight. You can probably see there it's not a straight panel, but I've decided to follow the curve of the panel because I'm a bit of a buffoon. Malamute means mutant from what I... Same breed but mutants. Ah, right, okay. Just chill and breathe. I'll try to. I think it's because I've got the... I'll go back to the other feed here. Oh, that's annoying. I can't see. Oh, no. No. I'm going to have to big this up again. Right. Oh, that's annoying. It must be annoying that I'm just saying, oh, that's annoying, and you can't see what's going on my screen. Here we go. Right, go back to the face focus. I can't even remember. Oh, yeah, because I've got my phone here pointing down at my desk. It's the stand holding it's right in the way. So it's a little tricky. Back down to the desk now, though, and we'll crack on if we can. Oh, I meant to minimise that. What happened there? What happened there? There we go. Right. Get a bit of water on my brush. I remember watching Zombieland a few years ago, and the tip on that for when you're shooting a gun is breathe out as you squeeze the trigger, and it makes you more accurate. So I just tried that, and it seemed to work. So we'll try it again. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm going to rinse that off so it doesn't dry on the bristles. The problem when you've got a brush this small, I think, is because you get less liquid, you get less paint on your bristles. The paint tends to dry quicker on the bristles because there's not much paint and it starts absorbing. So this is an orc, right? Yeah. It's Ghazghkull Thraka is like the big war boss, biggest war boss of orcs. So he's like. If you're new to 40k, it's hard to explain it, but think of him as like a general, basically. A general or a king or a lord. That's the easiest way to think of it. He's like, he brings all of the orcs together. And takes them to war against the Imperium of Mankind and anyone else who's up for a fight. How many did I say? 1, 2, oh, it's only 4 that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's enough then. That's enough across. That's good. I'm going to darken that line a bit. It's very messy. Ooh, that's a straight one, isn't it? Straight-ish anyway, as straight as I'm going to get. Not bad. Not bad at all. The biggest knob of knobs. Exactly. That's right for Ghazghkull. I was in the British Army shooting team and squeeze the trigger and you fire as you breathe out on the neutral resting breath. Ah, okay. I'm just going to get a sip of water because all this breathing out of my mouth is it's just drying my mouth out somewhat. I know Skarne are over at Plastic Crack Gaming. He always says make sure you if you're painting on stream, make sure you keep it just to base coats and washes, so it's nice and simple then. But I've decided it's a good idea to tackle some detail. I'm not sure why I decided it was a good idea to do that. But yeah, I decided it was a good idea to do that. One thing, a little thing I decided to try yesterday. I've got this milk frother, and the head of it fits perfectly in a GW paint pot. And this one in particular, the Militarum Green, really separates a lot, and I just popped this milk frother into it yesterday, but I've taken off there's a spring that goes around the head of it that helps froth your milk, so I took that off yesterday, and then I popped that into the Militarum Green and then just turned it on, and then it mixed it up so quickly it's ridiculous. So that's a top Big Mech tip is get yourself a milk frother or something similar. I did try clipping the circle off so I could just put the end in with like a little L curve on it, but my clippers could not get through it at all, whatever this is made of. So yeah, I stuck to the circle fits in nicely, popped it in, boom. Just nice little tips for you, coming at you, left, right and centre. 10 people watching. Whoa, sorry guys, just a big wobble coming. Yeah, so what was I saying? 10 people watching. Hello, welcome 10 people who are watching. I think that's what I was going to say, something along those lines. Back to the painting. Right, so we're going to go across now at, almost 90 degrees. How many did I say down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a bit. It's a bigger fade than I've done on. That is a big wobble. Blooming heck, I've just seen it on screen. It's a bigger fade than I've got on the GW, on the miniature on the GW website. I really should have put up a separate feed so I could screen share as well, but I forgot. But yeah, the miniature on the GW website, it's much darker at the bottom, so I'm going to go in heavy probably with what's it called, Black Templar, near the bottom, and sort of fade it away there a bit more. But yeah, we'll see how we get on with this. 1, 2. You can't have one in the middle if it's 5, can you? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be like 6, really. It probably looks like I'm looking right down the camera there when I'm just looking right above the camera on my screen. You know what? I'm going to put one in the middle. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to put one in the middle and work from there. Wow. Yeah, it really does seem to steady your hand somewhat when, obviously I brace my hands as well as much as I can, painting around this phone holder, but it really does seem to steady your hands quite well if you just breathe out as you're working on these fine details. I remember being on a Frost and Fish stream a while ago, and oh yeah, the contrast paints really do separate. So if you can get yourself a little handheld milk frother like that, I definitely recommend it. Yeah, I remember being on a Frost and Fish stream a little while ago, and Mythos asked me how did I paint the stripe on a lieutenant's helmet and make it look so good, or lieutenant for anyone who was in the British Army. Yeah, how did I make it look so straight and good? And I said I just kind of got lucky, but perhaps I breathed out at the time as well. I didn't think I had any tips for him, so I just said I just kind of did it and got lucky. Mess that last bit up there. Not too bad there. There's a chip in the armour which made it a little bit tricky and hard to predict. Picked the tank from Conquest at the weekend. Soz I'm not getting any peace. I'm cracking open some wine. Screw it, my week's just been booked up. Yeah, I think in the UK at the minute we're like sort of getting back into the swing of things. Slowly but surely, more and more people are going back to work. The shops are allowed to open now if they're not all open now, and everybody's it's sort of hitting some people hard, especially like me, because I upped my video output, or I tried to up my video out, or did actually completely up my video output during the lockdown period to 3 videos a week. So I'm trying to maintain it, but it's proving difficult, especially because I live alone, and in the UK now we're allowed to do that social bubble thing, and I'm planning on going and visiting the person in my social bubble this weekend. So that's why I was clearing up my weekend. And filming extra videos the weekend just gone as well. I still need to edit them though and make sure this is a terrible one because I'm talking as I'm doing it. Yeah, filming extra videos a weekend just gone. So it is proving the more you're allowed to do, good evening, Michael. The more you're allowed to do, the more you... Is that really loud when I rinse my brush? Let me know, because if it is, I'll at least try and move the glass over to the other side. It'll make things slightly more awkward for me, but not too bad really. Yeah, the more we're allowed to do, the more booked up we're becoming, especially because we're still doing certain things in lockdown, or some of us are. Like me and my friends do a quiz every week. I did one using my YouTube channel and basically uploaded the videos to my YouTube channel. Oh, that's a Restless Kaiser, isn't it? I think I've just realised. Sorry. Yeah, I've just what was I saying? That sounds okay. That's good. Yeah, so I just used my YouTube channel to upload my videos to YouTube and then sort of screen shared from there. That's what we're looking like at the minute with the checks. Some of the lines are a little thicker than I'd want, but it's no big deal really because I'm going to be going in with a black afterwards anyway. So what I'll do now is start to fill in the red squares, and because that Psycho brush from Army Painter is so thin, none of the lines are that thick really. They're a bit thicker than I'd want them, but they're not too bad. I can cope with that. You've been cutting grass since the end of May. Can't take it anymore. I'm not surprised. Is that why you missed my last stream? You were too busy cutting grass? Gary Knox in the chat, new to the hobby. Love the look of Oryx. Was gutted when I realised the checkerboard is hand painted. An almost impossible challenge at present. Love all the vids following Mortal Realm series. Thanks very much. Thanks for joining the channel and the community surrounding the channel as well. If you're new to the hobby, are you a member of the Wargaming Unification group on Facebook? If you've got Facebook, I definitely recommend joining that group, simply because there's lots of hobbyists, YouTube hobbyists, sharing content on there. And you know, you can post your own content on there if you want, just pictures of what you've been working on and stuff like that. And it's all very exciting. And if you're into Oryx, I'd recommend checking the Orc 40k group out as well. Even though it's a 40k group, Oryx are, you know, they're orcs as well. So I enjoy all that kind of stuff. Some of the Oryx stuff, Age of Sigmar Oryx stuff, the Iron Jaws, they're fantastic. Some of those miniatures, I've converted some into Meganobs for my orcs. Am I planning on doing any Conquest painting tutorials? I did do a couple, but I was working on this guy. I'll show you on the desk down cam. Been working on this guy. Worked on him a little bit last night, and worked on him last Sunday on a live stream as well. Got Marcos in the chat now. Welcome, Marcos. Good to see you again. Yeah, so worked on this guy last Sunday as well, and I think Marcos was in that stream as well. And yeah, so I need to get him painted for not this coming Sunday's video, but the one after. So yeah, I'll be working on some live on stream, but not necessarily doing any tutorials. I mean, I don't think I've done Death Guard tutorial on contrast paints, which is what this guy's completely painted with. So I might do a Death Guard armour tutorial just to share how simple it is to paint that classic Heresy era scheme, or you know, inspired by the Heresy era scheme, with contrast paints. So yeah, in short, the answer is I don't know exactly if I'll be doing tutorials, but I'll be doing some painting related Conquest stuff. Right, let's crack on with this now and get a slightly bigger brush on the go. So I'm going now, switching from the Army Painter Psycho to the Army Painter. I don't know what size that is. Army Painter. It's not got a name. It's a fine detail Army Painter brush. It's a Kolinsky one, I know that. Kolinsky Masterclass Wargamer. I think Wargamer is their brush range, isn't it? And Kolinsky Masterclass must be the name of that particular brush. I'm thinking of doing my Space Marines as Silver Templars. Love the scheme. Yeah, it's a really interesting scheme. Some of these newer schemes we've seen since the Indomitus Crusade. Just try to make sure that's all lined up, that brush, correctly. Some of the newer schemes we've seen from the Indomitus Crusade onwards. Oh, that's too big for that one. It must be the other one. That's annoying. Some of the new colour schemes we've seen from the Indomitus Crusade onwards are quite interesting because they're a different take on Space Marine armour. A lot of them have sort of grey panelling, and then certain panels like shoulders, chest pieces, knee pads and stuff like that, certain panels picked out with colours, and there's been quite a few new colour schemes with similar sort of themes, but different colours used. So it's always interesting to see a new approach to painting a miniature like that, in my opinion. Right, let's get this red back out. I love the army painter brushes too, Marcos. I think they're fantastic. Yeah, Silver Templars though. I think it's a lovely scheme, that, I think. Did you subscribe to Conquest premium subscription by any chance? Because I know there was a Silver Templar paint guide that came with that. Seemed very beginner friendly. Yeah, I think so. With the, you can base coat in lead belcher, I guess, can't you? Lead belcher spray. GW do a lead belcher spray, so that makes the first step very easy. I usually buy cheap brushes, but every once in a while I splurge on some of those triangular brush handles. Yeah, they're really comfortable to hold. I need to be need to remember that I've got that paint pot there. They're really comfortable to hold because you just fit between your fingers so nicely. Like if I turn that to the camera, you can see that my fingers just fit around it really nicely. They're slightly bigger than like most of the GW brushes. I mean, the GW brushes are okay. They sit in there not too bad, but the fact that they don't roll off the table as well is a big bonus in my opinion. Subscribe after stumbling across my videos. Excellent stuff. I am an excellent salesman for them. You'd think they'd give me free copies, but no, I have to go and buy them. And I have to go and buy them from the shops because they're not exactly reliable as a company delivering. Well, that's what I found anyway, personally. Where should I start with the red here? Should I start in the corner? No, I'm going to start not there. I'm going to start here. Like, you know what? I'm going to start randomly here. So if anyone's interested to see whether it's possible painting checks with contrast paint, I'd very cautiously say it's possible. It's probably not the best way to paint with... I know where I've started now, so I'm going to big this one up so I can actually see what's going on the stream again. I know... I'd say it's not the best idea to try and paint checks using contrast paints, but it's definitely possible. And I'm about to prove it to you. And watch me mess up with my very next brush stroke. I'm using this straight from the pot as well, this contrast paint. You've just got to be very careful, I think. That's the only thing. And it's probably quicker using layer paint, so I really don't know why I decided I'd try and paint the checks with the contrast paint. I just really love that Flesh Terror red colour. Incidentally, with some of the new Marines coming out with the chainswords and everything, I'm tempted to paint some up as Flesh Terrors, because I've always liked the Flesh Terror colour scheme, and I've got some Blood Angels miniatures and stuff put to one side that I have not got anywhere near working on yet. But at some point in the future, I may very well turn those Blood Angels miniatures into Flesh Terrors and potentially convert myself up some Chainsword Primaris Marines as well. Assault Primaris Intercessors. That's what they are, isn't it? Intercessors, I think. Woo! Oh, you recommended me to their customer service. Thanks very much, the Bard. Do I use contrast paint often? To be honest, I've pretty much almost exclusively used contrast paint for the past few months, since contrast paint's launched, to be honest. Some people really don't like them. I like them because they help me paint Imperial Fist and Death Guard really fast. Now, my Imperial Fist aren't the best Imperial Fist out there. There are much better out there, but I need to paint my Imperial Fist fast so I can continue doing the Conquest tutorial missions, and then eventually the just the missions that we're seeing throughout the magazine beyond the tutorial missions. So I need to reliably be able to continue painting miniatures quickly, and just it takes away that step of a wash for me. And I don't do any highlights on my contrast paints either, or typically I don't. So it's for me, it's a really quick way of painting up the Imperial Fists. It was my local GW store manager who goes by the name of, what's his name on Instagram? I can't remember, but he's painting white scars, and you'll often see him in the Warhammer community hobby roundups that they've been doing on the Twitch channel, the Warhammer TV Twitch channel. You'll often see his miniatures featured there. It's something of Chigoris, but I think it's something of Chigoris anyway. But yeah, he's always painting white scars, and they're featured on there quite a lot. Or on Instagram he goes by that name, and I think on Twitter as well. I should really find out for you, but my phone's there, so I can't at the minute. But yeah, I use contrast paints quite often to answer your question. I could have answered it really succinctly, but instead I decided to waffle on. Storm of Chigoris, that's his name on Instagram. Check out at Storm of Chigoris on Instagram if you're a fan of white scars. And tell him Big Mac Ghazghkull sent you. But yeah, his white scars are fantastic, and I don't think he uses contrast paints, but he did when contrast paints first came out. He tested out the contrast paints on a colour scheme on the Imperial Fists, and that's why I use Nazdrag Yellow for my Imperial Fist, because I just love the way it looked. It's a really nice. Typically you'd see that sort of colour scheme I use on Heresy era miniatures. It's like a deeper, richer, more saturated yellow. Like golden yellow almost, whereas the 40k era miniatures, the 40k era Marines are a bit brighter typically in the Imperial Fists. So yeah, I prefer the Heresy look, the sort of golden look to them. So that's why I went with the Nazdrag Yellow after his recommendation. We've got a kid crying next door now as well. Not just a dog that's crying. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Right. Let's put that down a sec. Rinse the brush. I am very conscious of paint drying on the bristles here. I'm only going to be on, if you've not heard me say already, I'm probably only going to be on till 8, maybe 8:30 tonight. It's now 7:30 here in the UK. Because I'm up early for work in the morning again. It'll be the third day in a row been up early for work. It gets easier the more often you get up for work early. In my opinion, it does anyway. Some people say, oh, how do you get up at that time? But if I'm up at that time every day of the week, it just becomes routine. Back to the chat. Have I sent you pics of what I've done with the Conquest stuff? No, you haven't, I don't think. You'll have to send them over. Send them to Big Mac Ghazghkull on the FaceB. I don't think you did anyway. I could be wrong there though. Out of all the dudes doing stuff on Conquest, you're the best. Oh, thanks very much. A hobby corner's a close second. Now the hobby corner's rubbish compared to me. Black Toe Studios, how you doing? Fantastic to have you here. Yeah, so Kev at the Hobby Corner is not rubbish. That's why I recommend him in my own videos. He's really good with his Conquest stuff and his Mortal Realms stuff, the way he's covering that. I think with his videos you can tell he's more into Mortal Realms than I am, or that's what I feel like anyway. I try and be as enthusiastic as I can, but because I don't know as much about the lore, my Mortal Realms videos I think have a bit less of my character in there. Because with 40k lore, I don't know, there's people definitely out there that know more about 40k lore than I do, but with going through the Conquest magazines, I was talking about the lore, then I'd just go off on ridiculous tangents and you could see my enthusiasm on screen, whereas I know less about the Mortal Realms lore, which offers a different perspective, a different viewpoint, because it's more like the viewpoint of someone that's new to the hobby in that regard, because I don't know as much about the AOS lore. So it's like the videos are almost for a different audience, because I can't educate the audience any more than the magazine can. not that I educate you anyway, but I think my enthusiasm isn't at the same level for the Mortal Realms videos as for the Conquest videos. I just noticed as well, further up in the chat, the Kaiser said something about some Agrax Earthshade going over. Absolute disaster. That Agrax is going over for... It's not Agrax, thankfully. It's more expensive than Agrax Earthshade, so yeah, it would be a complete disaster if it went over. I think it's more expensive anyway. I don't actually know how much contrast paints are, but it's Flesh Terror Red, so we'll see if it goes over. You know what? I've never knocked over a pot of wash or, you know, a runny paint like that. I had an old pot of Chaos Black once, and I was opening it, and it was sort of dried shut, and I dropped it as I was opening it once, but I've never actually knocked over a wash. So yeah, I'm not even going to touch wood. I'm just going to mock everybody that knocks washes over. Every time I see a picture on Facebook of someone knocking a wash over, it's like, everyone, you know, it's not the end of the world if someone does it. How you doing? Excuse me, burping live on stream. That's disgusting. How you doing, Underdog Painting? Good to have you here, Bazza. Yeah, so I've never knocked a pot of wash over or anything, and I don't plan on doing it, but we'll see. Maybe I will do one day. The thing is, I've got some sort of paint holder things down there. They're more like paint racks, but I could just pop one of them on the desk and push it into there, and it wouldn't get knocked over. But I like to run the risk every now and again, and you know, take a risk in life and see where it gets me. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be going through the chat before going back to painting, wasn't I? The chat keeps ticking over and I'm getting further and further behind. Right. I just bought some more paint today. I may have to buy some Flesh Terror Red contrast next time you go to the store. Yeah, I love Flesh Terror Red. It's just a deep, deep red. It's basically the contrast equivalent of Corn Red, but it's slightly different to Corn Red, I'd say. The end results. And the Blood Angels Red is more equivalent to like Mephiston Red. But it's kind of orangey, the Blood Angel Red, like the old school Blood Angels Red paint. Was it a foundation paint now? I think it was. But no one watches Hobby Corner's vids, must be the thumbnails. I don't necessarily think it's the thumbnails. I think it's, unfortunately, because he subscribes to the magazines, he gets them a lot later most of the time, and then he takes his time with making the vids. You can see he really puts the effort into making the vids, whether it's a painting vid or playing vid. You can see all the effort he puts into it, I think. And it is a shame in a way, because I think his vids are better than mine, especially concerning Mortal Realms. Because I only cover the content of the magazine and try and cover, you know, chunks of the lore or summarise the lore that's in the magazine. So yeah, it's a tricky one, and I think it does need, I don't know. I think people watch my vids. I get far fewer views on the Mortal Realms videos than I did on the Conquest videos. But I think people watch my vids a lot of the time just to see what's in the mag while they're still sat there waiting for it, because they've subscribed to the magazine and I get it in the shop on a weekly basis. Someone messaged me or wrote a comment the other week saying they just received their copy up to issue 17 or something in the post, and that was before I had issue 17. But they're like amongst the few that actually get it on time, kind of thing. So it's difficult to say. Chapter House Morgan, Bay and I did our first Conquest mission vid the other day. Fantastic. Thanks for the heads up. No worries, man. It's really interesting set of missions and way to get you into the game, kind of thing. Oh, let me know if there's an echo, by the way, because I think I forgot to turn the mic off on the camera. So if there's any echo or anything like that, it might be a bit irritating for you. Let me know. Thought you'd pop over and say hi, Black Toe Studio. Fantastic. Thanks very much for joining, like I said. The lads on the ball, you both need to use hashtags though. Yeah. BRB. Marcos has spilt his snakebite leather before. Your contrast snakebite leather or your old school snakebite leather? Because if it's the old school snakebite leather, man, that is a relic. Everyone is on the IRK live at the moment. What's IRK? The Urk live. I'm going to have to find out who this rival streamer is. Have you misspelt something there? I'm just typing in IRK live and see what happens. IRK, it's a band. Right, anyway. You'll be painting your Ghazghkull soon, Bazza. Excellent stuff. Orc Love, not IRK Live. IRK Live, I just possibly found a new band, a new favourite band of mine though, so I'll have to look into them once this stream is over. So thanks for that fat thumbs Bazza type in there. Excellent stuff. I'll check that message out after the stream, the Bard. Is it weird that I call you the Bard every time I say a sentence and then say the Bard? Or should I just say Bard? I don't know. I like saying the Bard, to be honest. Maybe I should say the whole thing, the Bard 79. Baz is going to be painting his Ghazghkull soon. I'm really looking forward to see what you do with Ghazghkull, mate. It's going to be an interesting one. See if I can outdo you. No, I can't outdo you. I'm a very average or below average painter, I'd say, when it comes to talent, but I'm happy with the level I can achieve. And if I really wanted to, I'd sit down and I'd paint more and I'd get better. But I enjoy spending the amount of time I do currently painting. We've got Chili More Gamers in the chat joining us. Fantastic to have you here, bud. Oh, you know what? I didn't I didn't share this in Chili More Gamers. Hint, hint. Get sharing for me. Yeah, it's good to have you here. Just doing some work on Ghazghkull's claw at the minute, the checker pattern. I bet if his claw had a checker pattern embossed on it, you'd have just filed it off though, wouldn't you, Spud? I'm assuming that's Spud. Judging by the way you charged into the chat there and took it over with one fell message. Oh, look at this. Chili More Gamers shared my video. Fancy that. Thanks very much for that, bud. Contrast snakebite leather. Yeah, it's an expensive one, isn't it, though? At least it wasn't the old relic snakebite leather. I swear I've got a pot of that somewhere, though, but it's all corrupted by other paints that I, in my youth, decided to mix in with it. Oh, you know what? I've nearly finished this side of the claw. Well, not finished it, but I'm going to go in with the Black Templar afterwards and attack it from another angle. Just before I came on stream, there was a... Well, not just before. A couple of hours before I came on stream, there was a massive downpour right where I live in Manchester, in like East Manchester. And I thought my house was going to fall down. It was pouring, literally pouring down the windows. I think I need to get my gutters emptied or something, because they were just, to be fair, even the gutter at the side of the road was not coping with it. So I don't think it's necessarily that my gutters are clogged up. I think it's probably more that there was just that much rain. It was just pouring down my house rather than going down the drain pipe. Absolutely torrential downpour. I don't think I've seen rain like that since I was in Florida about 10 years ago. But they have the infrastructure to cope with weather like that in America. In the parts of America that expect weather like that at the very least. It's like when we get to winter over here and there's a tiny bit of snow, like an inch of snow, the roads come to a standstill. But in America, everyone just like puts the snow tires on and drives around. If you know, it's crazy how different the approach is of the different societies. The gritters come out over here, but they've not got the right grit, so it doesn't melt the snow properly, or it doesn't help lower the melting point of the snow enough. Oh, you got your second Ghazghkull today. Excellent stuff. Hashtag file everything off. I need to man out and attempt some checker stuff. Are you going to attempt it? Oh, that's going to be exciting to see. Are you using Ghazghkull as Ghazghkull, or are you going to convert it into like a big mech or something like that? Got to go. All right, no worries. But I couldn't read that for some reason. I think it was just because I'm so devastated I couldn't read it. Dude, got to go and get ready for our stream. We'll pop up. We'll pop by again soon. No worries, mate. Not at all. I'm only going to be streaming probably for maybe another half an hour. I said I was going to go till 8, but I might go till 8:30. So I probably won't be back on when you come back. But feel free to check it out afterwards, and you don't have to. You're not obliged to. It's okay. Look at all this sexiness in the chat. Lots of sexiness going off in the chat. I can just see CWC over and over again. I feel like you're talking to yourself there, Spud, though. Got 11 people watching now, though. Fantastic. Where's everybody watching from? I'm in Manchester. Spud, you're somewhere near Leeds, I think. I was in Leeds the other day, actually. But I think you're somewhere near Leeds, aren't you? Like Dewsbury, somewhere like that. I don't know exactly. I probably insulted you there, but I don't know. Maybe you are from Dewsbury and Proud, and then I've insulted you there. Oh my God. I'll just keep digging, shall I? Take care, Black Toad Studios. You know what, right? On the one on the website, all of this is red. I'm not sure I want it all red, though. I can correct it later. How you doing, Oshi? Oshi's in the chat now. Fantastic stuff. 10 people watching. Wait a minute. Oshi comes in and says, hey, and then all of a sudden we go from 11 watching to 10. How does that work? That's a bit weird, isn't it? Ah, you're in Dewsbury. Fantastic. It's one of those places, isn't it, where you can use one word to say a complete sentence. Like when you want to tell somebody it isn't in the tin. Tin, tin, tin. We had G the Hyper Sapien in earlier, all the way from Adelaide. But he had to, it was 4 AM there, so he had to go to bed, didn't he? Way past his bedtime. I'll be in bed by about 9 o'clock here. Oh, by the way, just in case you didn't realise, I'm going for it with the red on this side. You know, it's really frustrating that this isn't focusing. It was focusing really well on the last stream. Oh, I'm going deep as well. Look at that. That is a deep, dark red. Trying to connect it on those bits where the checker pattern meets it. Oshi claiming it's not her fault that everybody's run off now she's joined the chat. I blame Oshi. Hashtag blame Oshi. Let's get around this big... What is that? It's not a bolt. What are they called then? Servo? Is that a servo, this bit here? I don't want to get any paint on it, but that bit there, is that a servo? That bit. They have them on Space Marine armour as well, but they're more clean on Space Marine armour. I don't know if you call it a servo or not. Oh, it's bugging me that it's not focusing. On the last stream it was perfectly focusing. But I suppose it's because it had more detail on the miniature there. Might go in with a second coat of that, you know, once it's dried. File it off. I might just file it off, you know. Take Spud's approach and file it off. File the bugger off. Yo, that looks sick already, that. I am well pleased with that. Oh, the joys. The joys of painting when you give a paintbrush to a simpleton. I'm really surprised how well that's gone. Considering I'm painting detail live on stream. I know that bit wasn't detail, but the checker pattern. And I've still got plenty of time to mess it up when I go back in with the Black Templar. Got Civic Dude 81 in the chat. Hi, Big Mac, watching from not so Sunderland tonight. Not so sunny Sunderland, is it, or just not so Sunderland, like you're on the outskirts of Sunderland? Fantastic to have you here. Get myself another drink of water. The Bard, where are you watching from if you're still watching? The Bard. Cheers, Marcos. I'm really pleased with how well the checkers look myself. But like I said, plenty of time to mess it up when I go in there with the Black Templar. What I'm going to do... I don't know whether to do it on stream or not. I've got to try it, haven't I? I'm going to go in, attack the bottom. When I say the bottom, I mean this part. I'm going to attack the bottom with some thinned down Black Templar. And then I'm going to probably really thin down some Black Templar and go in from midway. But I still need to paint the top checks. So the ones up at the top here where the thumb is. I'm going to paint that one, that one, that one, that one. All probably with just neat Black Templar. Now I could go in with a different black actual paint rather than a contrast paint. But I think I'm going to risk it and go with the Black Templar, you know. Because I'm feeling really risky tonight, and I like to take these risks. Oh, Marcus is watching from Texas. What time is it over there now? It's got to be about... It's 8 o'clock here, so it must be 2 o'clock there or 3 o'clock. Not so sunny, it's overcast. Doing well, thank you very much, mate. Yeah, we had a massive downpour here earlier, so I know the feeling. Where have I been today? I don't even know where I've been. I went to the Midlands today. I went to Birmingham and Stoke and, well, just two parts of Birmingham technically. Sandwell or Oldbury and Dudley. Oh yeah, I've been all around like West Brom and stuff like that as well. But not delivering there, just driving through there because I like it. I like to drive around there. 2 p.m. there over in Texas, fantastic. The place where the sword of freedom was first in defiance of English tyranny. Scotland then. Do you have the Bard? Do you have some tartan? I don't mean do you own any, I mean do you have a family tartan? I assume you do. Oh, my giddy aunt, I'm messing up already now without even touching it. Well, I am touching it, but with my thumb instead of a brush. Yeah, that's drying nicely that now. Like I said, I'll probably go in with a second coat of that flesh terror just to get it that little bit deeper. And then, oh, should I attack that now or should I let that fully dry? What was I going to do on this side? I wanted to paint some colours onto the gun side. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to line that up now and see how that's looking. Oh, it's coming together nicely. Look at that. Look at that. Fantastic. Yeah, it's not the neatest checker pattern you'll ever see, but I'm pretty happy with my skill level and where it's at and how neatly that's painted. But of course, with orcs, even the most arty orc isn't going to be a perfect brush smith, if there's such a thing. Once I go in there with some battle damage as well, chip a few bits here and there, then I think it's going to be quite nice, that checker pattern. But let's see how much of the green skin you can see at this stage, although it's got another armour panel to go over the top of it. You can't really see much of the green skin, can you? But, oh, look at it. Look at that green skin up top there. Look, isn't it beautiful? Beautiful. Right, let's crack on, but with something slightly different. I'm going to get some skeleton horde out and just paint these tusky bits. Dark oath flesh, Nazdrag yellow, snakebite leather, not skeleton horde. Here's skeleton horde, the last one I go to. Skeleton horde contrast paint. Give it a good shake. A black yin is your tartan. Fantastic. Fantastic. I just remembered I'm streaming. I shouldn't really be making weird noises like that. Some people will be concerned. Maybe that's what set the dog off before, me making weird noises. Oh, by the way, Have you noticed my green lighting in the background for orcifying the channel on this orky stream? Let's go to a face focus. Look at this green lighting in the background. I can change the colour of it because I'm just that technologically advanced. We go with like a... That was supposed to be a cerise. It is. Wait a minute, why is it blue on... Oh, I know why. Look at that. I've not wired it up right. We've got like a... Down here, you can just see a bit of a pinky colour. Is that cerise? I said cerise. It might not be cerise. And then up there it's blue because I've not wired it up right. I'm going to turn it off and on again and see if that fixes it. I can't even turn it off now. There we go, it's off. Nope, still messed up. Never mind. Green. Green. Ah, it means one of the colours isn't connected properly. That's what it is. But luckily the green's all connected properly. I try yellow and we've just got green up there for some reason. How would that work? Fade. Right. I've bored you enough now. They call me Piccolo. In the chat. Welcome to this fabulous Ghazghkull stream. I don't know why it's fabulous all of a sudden. It never was before. Oh, by the way, if anyone's ever curious about how long my beard is, I normally have it tied up so you can't see, but it goes down to... Still not down to my belly button unless I'm sat down, but oh my god, I've just knocked that desk down camera. But it goes down past my breasts. Past my breasts. Should I pop this camera back on me slightly more now so you can see my lovely face? Let's tilt it up slightly. Look at that. Fantastic. Right, so like I said, I was going to go back in with some skeleton horde. So I might as well, and I'll switch you back down to the desk cam. Chilling more gamers. Waha! Is that you started the war and then you sort of lost your breath and then just laughed instead? Right, back down to the desk cam now. Oh my gosh, the camera's flipped round. Is that a disaster or is that okay? That's a disaster. I'm pointing it the wrong way now. Will it flip? Ah, we can cope with it, can't we? Oh, you know what? Nah, it'll be alright, that. We can cope with it. When will I be driving past Nick's house to give him some grief peeping through his blinds? Well, funny you should say that. We don't deliver down the southeast anymore. We used to go down to sort of Cornwall area, Dorset and all those sorts of places. I don't think we've ever been to one to deliver into Plymouth though. But yeah, I do occasionally just swing by on the off chance that he's looking out of those blinds, giving passers-by grief as he always does. So I might be popping up in a future video of his. We'll have to wait and see. Have I seen Alan Partridge? It's his take on the war, is it? Waha! I've seen Alan Partridge, but I don't remember things like everybody does. Most normal people remember things they find really funny. I don't. I mean, now and again I do, but Alan Partridge isn't the kind of thing that I watched, and I enjoy it when I watch it, but I don't. It's not one of those things that I remember, unfortunately. Oh, I know what I need. I need that back on screen, don't I? Where's it gone? Give it up. Right, let's flip that round. Oh, look at that there. Should I use a bit of the old... maybe. That's like... I'm going to thin down some of the skeleton horde. Get some contrast medium out. I'm going to go one of them onto the palette into where the green is there. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go two like a cheeky little devil. Waha! I just realised what you meant, Spud. I am so slow on the uptake, aren't I? And I'm going to get one of them, stick that onto my palette and smoke it. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. That seems like something Alan Partridge would say as well. Did you watch any of This Time, Spud, by any chance? I thought This Time was really good. And if you didn't, it was like Alan Partridge presenting the One Show. Boom. I think it was called This Time. It was like the latest Alan Partridge thing on BBC. Just check I'm still on camera. There I am. Oh, look at that. It looks bony already. Wait a minute. Which end is darkest? The top end, innit? When I say the top end, I mean the end that would connect to the gums. So I want to be brushing this way to get more contrast paint down at the bottom there. And then it'll naturally darken it. Oh, that seems to have had the opposite effect that I wanted. Aha! Yeah, I know what you mean now, by the way. After... some of my friends in high school used to call me 8-second slow-mo because it took me a little while to get things when they'd all stopped laughing by then. Anyone new? Oh, we got Frost and Fitz in the chat. Hey there, beautiful people. Hey there, beautiful mythos. I assume with the beautiful people greeting. Welcome to this fabulous stream. Again, it's a fabulous stream. I don't know why all of a sudden I've started calling this stream fabulous. But I'm going with it. I'm running with it. I think it's working for me. This fabulous stream of mine. I've been painting some checks. I'll show you them again in a second, Mythos. I'll hold them up to the camera. Everyone else is probably bored of them by now. That's why I'm losing viewers. So everyone else is like, why does he keep showing the checks? They're not that good. Oh, Mythos as well. It is Mythos. A wild Mythos appears. You asked me a long time ago when I was on the Frost and Fist live stream, the very first UK hobby hangout, or yeah, so the very first UK one you did. I feel very honoured to be the very first UK one, official UK one, not that Nick beat me to it at any point with an accidentally disastrous one. But yeah, you asked me how I painted the helmet on the lieutenant and the stripe on his helmet. Now I think I might have accidentally discovered how I did it when I was painting those checks, and it's something that I saw in the movie Zombicide. Not Zombicide, that's a board game. In the movie Zombieland. Something I saw in the movie Zombieland, and potentially this is what I did, because I seem to get really straight lines when I just did it on the claw there. Just breathe out as you drag the brush across the miniature, and it seemed to help me. Now I can't guarantee, it doesn't come with any guarantees this, and you know, it's not a money back situation, so I can't guarantee you'll get the straightest lines ever, but it seemed to help me anyway. So yeah, it just popped up earlier when somebody, well, I think I just realised myself when the chat was ticking away, and then I remembered you asking me that, and I just went on a big waffle about it. This show just went up to, how many degrees is that? 10,000 degrees. Yeah, give it a try. It should, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be some sort of help to you. If not, solve all your problems in life, but I can't do that, can I? There'd be no challenges in life if I solved all your problems. Don't you put Paul Bearings? Who's Paul Bearings? Don't you put still can't say it. Don't you put ball bearings in your paint when you shake it to help it mix? No, I was saying earlier as well. Another thing, I've got a coffee stirrer, so if I need to mix one like this one, oh, you know what? I'll put it on the I'll show you on the desk cam. So we've got this. This has really separated, this Militarum green. It always really separates. It doesn't stay mixed for very long. So what I've decided is use this milk frother, not coffee stirrer, this milk frother. And I've taken the spring off, the sort of coil bit off that's on the top that helps get air into the milk. And I can put that into the pot, and we'll see now on stream if it actually works, or if I just got lucky last night. So I shook it a bit first, and look, that's not really, I'll shake it a bit more and show you again. It's not doing much there, but it seemed to work really well last night, this, when I tried it for the first time. So fingers crossed it'll work for me now. Just try and get any excess paint off the lid there, and hopefully I won't approach this from the right angle without knocking the camera. So that just fits in there, and then I turn it on. Give it a little whirl like that. And then it's almost completely mixed then. But yeah, I've never tried the ball bearing thing, partly because I've just never gotten around to ordering them. I'm just cleaning off my stirrer now to make sure it's, next time I go to dunk it into another paint, it's nice and fresh. Oh, look at that magic. Yeah, so that's just, I've never gotten around to ordering the ball bearings really. And I know some people say they've ordered the wrong ball bearings and it's rusted the paints and stuff like that. So I've always been a bit hesitant to order them. But I guess as long as you find a reputable source and they are truly stainless steel, then you're good to go, aren't you? The glass ones, I've heard, can sometimes just be not heavy enough to mix the paint properly. So that's why I've never gone for the grass ones. The grass ones definitely wouldn't be heavy enough. That's why I've never gone for the glass ones. Oh, the chat's flying along now. I think trying the checker pattern on my Goths will be a useful experience the next time I try it. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I've seen your checker patterns on your Goths. When you first try your checker pattern on Orcs, it's terrifying experience, isn't it? I mean, just starting the checkers on this claw earlier, I was very hesitant, and they're by no means perfect checks. I'm going to go in and change the white to black. They're by no means a perfect checks, but I'm happy with that checker pattern. The first time you try it on your Orcs, it's a really a terrifying experience, a daunting experience, I think is a more appropriate word there. A daunting experience, and keeping lines straight and stuff like that, it's scary, a scary prospect, because you might have painted most of the miniature already. This is one of the last few things you've got to do, and then if you mess it up, you'll have to repaint that area, and if you've airbrushed it and stuff like that, it's a big hassle to fix. But thankfully with Orcs, you can get away with just adding a little bit of battle damage to hide the sort of wobbly lines that you might have gotten with a checker pattern, and there's always a way around it with an Orc, I think. I feel like that anyway. Not definitely. Some people say, I've got a box. This is taking it to the ultimate extreme, but some people might say, I've got this box here, that's a truck, and it moves by power of will from the Orcs. And that's taking that sort of lore to the extreme. Doesn't quite ring true for most people, I think. But yeah, you can get away with stuff on Orc miniatures, more so than certain other miniatures, like Marine miniatures, for example. Although I guess a Marine can be as battle damaged as an Orc, really. Right, I don't know whether to go in with the black now or not. I'm going to go in with some black. What's that? That's Black Templar, that is. Ooh. Right, let's have a quick look through the chat. Non-stop hobby tips on this show. Well, I try. Most of them are probably useless, and when you try them, they won't work for you. They just work for me because I've got that orky mentality. He has orc arms for shaking paint pots. He does not need balls to help him. Exactly. I was going to try and edit my thumbnail with Ghazghkull's arms over me, like I'm... But I didn't have the time. I take it back, he has girly arms and needs to use an aid to stir paint. I just bought some army painter mixing bowls today. Ah, yes, army painter ones. I've seen people using them. I imagine because they're from a paint company, a reputable paint company, and especially one where, from what I've heard about army painter paints, I've not had any myself apart from the sprays, and I do not like the sprays because I've had bad experiences with both of the sprays I've had. But from what I've heard of army painter paint that comes in the dropper bottles, you need those mixing balls because they really refuse to mix almost. I think Wargamer Online Phil does the same thing, but he snipped the circle bit off at the end. Yes, I was saying earlier when I first started talking about it, I tried snipping the circle bit off and my clippers would not go through it. I don't have the strength. I don't have the strength of grip to be able to clip through it. It was not even putting a dent in it. So I thought, you know what, I'll leave it as is. Right, looking great, thanks very much. Hey dudes, hi Mostly Zen, how you doing? I'm not used Black Templar, it's the contrast one, right? Yeah, that's correct, it's the contrast one. I've not used much of Black Templar if I'm honest, but Spud, correct me if I'm wrong, did you paint most of Ghazghkull's armour in Black Templar, if you're still in the chat, that is, Spud? I believe you painted a lot of the armour in Black Templar, or you did it first. So I'd be interested to see what you think of it, because you got great results on Ghazghkull's armour. I think you did a fantastic job in the end there. It was a lovely paint job. Is Goths better clan to pick for orcs? No. You want Death Skulls for orcs. Gaming wise, now I don't know what the current meta is or anything. I'm not a competitive gamer. But I believe Death Skulls are actually one of the better clans to pick for orcs. That's what people seem to say. So if you're looking for the most advantages in game, potentially Death Skulls. But whenever I pick a paint scheme, I don't pick it based on the rules of that particular sub-faction. I pick it based on what I think... Why is that making noise? I pick it based on what I think will... Oh, that's why it's making noise. Oh, I've lost it now, you know. Somebody just subscribed, donated, I don't know. Somebody just did something, and I don't know what it was. Did it flash up on stream? Hopefully it'll flash up on there and show me. I don't know if it will though, you know. Because I've got the stream playing in the background, so now you'll have seen it already, potentially. Or... Clopfoot just subscribe. Clopfoot just subscribe. Thanks for subscribing, Clopfoot. Excellent stuff. So that's the first time I've had a live subscriber when I've been on stream. So that's fantastic. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't pick my clans and my craft worlds and stuff based on rules. I always pick them based on colour scheme. And if there's no colour scheme I'd like, potentially I'd just come up with my own colour scheme. And then if you come up with your own colour scheme, you've got the advantage of you can pick whatever clan traits you want. But for myself, I like blue on my orcs, so I pick Death Skulls as my main clan. But the thing is with orcs, in a war, you get all clans really. But GW rules-wise, it's easier for GW if they try and get you to paint your army as one thing. So, yeah, it's... I couldn't tell you if Goths are the best clan to pick, or if... I don't think they are, to be honest. I think they're suboptimal. I think Death Skulls are the best clan if you want the best, most advantageous gaming experience. The skull has an impressive beard squig too. Thank you very much. Grumpy Guy Gaming, join us in the chat. How you doing, bud? Right, so let's crack on with some blackmail, shall we? What time is it? Oh, it's 17 minutes past 8. I said I was only going to stream till 8 because I'm up early again tomorrow. Got 16 watching now. We just seem to be gathering steam here. Maybe I should stream all through the night and stay awake forever. I've been watching over the past day or so. I started watching it last night, and then I watched again a little bit this night. Sergeant Shamrock on YouTube. He's been doing a streamathon, paintathon on his channel, and I'm going to go straight in with Black Templar across the bottom here and be really risky. He's been doing a paintathon on his channel, and yeah, he's trying to get a full Genestealer cult army. Oh, you know what? What have I done there? Why did I do that? Oh. Come here to learn how to ruin a paint job. What I'm going to do here quickly is get some contrast medium. What a disaster that was. I knew I was going to mess up at some stage, but it's not through knocking a paint over, thankfully. Get some contrast medium on the brush there. Get rid of some of it on the palette, and then just see if I can mix it in on the model. Oh. No, it's too hot. It's drying already. Oh, look at that. Oh. Magical experience. I should have just done that with water, really, shouldn't I? What a numpty. Where's that there? No, not there. Where have we put that contrast medium on the palette? Oh my word. It doesn't matter, I'll start again. Right, get some Black Templar on there first. And then a bit more contrast medium. Nah, that's well too much still. Rinse your brush off properly. That'll do us. More contrast medium. Well, you know what, I think I want a bit more contrast medium. And get some of the black, mix it in. I think I want a bit more contrast medium, you know. I can work around it, I can work it round rather. Oh, I quite like that. I quite like that. Well, I think I want it darker at the bottom still. I'm going to go right to the top with this Black Templar contrast medium mix. It just dirties it up a bit. How are we doing there on stream? Are we, yeah, we're in focus, aren't we, more or less? And I've got a black thumb now. Right, I'm going to get some of that off my thumb. Just wipe it on the palette. Ooh. I don't know whether to let that... I should have brought my hairdryer down. You could have listened to me dry my miniature. I don't know whether to let that dry or go in with a bit more. I'm going to go in with a bit more before it's completely dry, I think. Start about there this time, I think. I thought there was a big rumble of thunder then outside, but it's somebody taking the bin out. Just remembered the bins go out tomorrow morning. I need to put mine out if I can get through the new pond that's just appeared in my backyard after the downpour we had earlier. Chilling More Gamer's got a bounce, no problem, bud. Thanks very much for joining me and sharing. Oh, how's that looking? How is it looking? It's looking dirty, I'll tell you that for nothing. It'll look more interesting when it's dry, I think. It's a bit too... You know what? I'm tempted to keep this white, actually. I was going to paint it all black, but I'm tempted to keep it that sort of really grey white at the top. And then just leave it the black at the bottom. I don't know. I kind of want to go in with a bit more, though. Whoa. This could be risky. This could be ruining it. Let's get a bit more on there. Just on. Oh, yes. Look at that. Lovely. A bit more, not much more. And pull it down. I'm pulling it down rather than painting it up. Oh, you know what? I think that's darkening the red too much. I feel like that's just darkening the red a little too much. What I'm going to do is rest this on the side now. Just get it a little bit more there. I'm going to rest it on the side and allow gravity to take control of the situation there, because I think I'm just going to overwork it. Close these before I knock them over. And I'll just run through the chat a little bit again. And I'll see how we're looking on the other couple of other elements there. Oh, you know what? I should have painted some on that. I'll just get some paint on this, and then I'll go back to the chat to see how we're going there. This is like 3 parts contrast medium to 1 part black Templar, so it won't darken it too much, this at all, really. Yeah, there's not even much point in me using that, because I want the top of this gun to look much darker. I think I'll have to go in with neat black Templar to get the result I want on the top of it there. Yeah, so I'll put that to one side, and I'll go back to the face focus and address the chat once more. Face focus! Unbelievable. Right, the chat. Spud's got a bounce. Thanks very much for joining me. Bob Ross, that error into a tree or something. Yes, exactly. When you mess up, just paint it into a little tree. Happy little tree. That was my Bob Ross impression. It's been a while since wow, look at that hair on top of my head. Maybe I should grow my hair long again. Nope. I'm bald. Look at how wispy the hair goes on top of my head. This is what you get on one of my streams. This is why I shave my head. And this is why I don't stream live often, because I normally edit that stuff out in between videos instead of waffling on about, oh, look at my hair there. Or if I grow 2 more of these big ones here, I can't even grab it. I think it's an imaginary hair. If I grow 2 more of those big ones, I could have a full-on Homer Simpson situation up top there. Anyway, back to the chat. Looks like it might be improving. There's thunderstorms all over the UK tonight. My back is not happy chappy. Bad times, man. It's all that grass you've been mowing though, isn't it? Instead of steel bearings, I just ordered hematite beads. They are cheap and no rusting problem. Excellent stuff. Is that like a resin type thing? I just noticed a message from my sister on the phone. I'll reply to that once the stream's over though. Just in case you're wondering, she was asking, am I going to watch Artemis Fowl on Disney Plus? And the answer is, not right away, but she can watch it. And then I'll watch it afterwards, unless she's not already watched it. Thanks very much. I am looking good, Oshi. I always am, though. As you well know. Right. Happy mistake tree. Hematite beads sound interesting. They do indeed. I use glass balls for mixers. Cheap too. Yeah, I've heard some people don't like the glass ones because they're not as heavy as the metal ones. So that's why some people prefer the metal over the glass, because it just gives you that extra agitator. And tell you what, it agitates me when I'm watching a stream and somebody shakes it. Steve-O's always doing it. 6 plus Steve-O on stream. He's always just like a madman. He started one of his streams once with his hand off camera when he was doing that, and it looked very interesting. Let's just leave that there. You can buy them for crafting necklaces, so dirt cheap. What is it with me and reading tonight? I think I've been awake too long. Yes, as I was saying though, awake too long reminds me, I've been watching Sergeant Shamrock. He's been doing a paint-a-thon. So I don't know if he's going to be streaming again. If you are around Sergeant Shamrock, let me know in the chat if you are going to be streaming again. Hopefully we can get a few people from this stream over to his stream if he's going to be streaming after my stream. But he did stream for like 17 hours straight, the crazy fool. Painting some Gene Stealer cult miniatures, which I don't know what the end product is. If I painted miniatures for 17 hours straight though, my end product would be awful. Simply awful. So I couldn't imagine doing that, setting myself a task like that. It's beyond my remit. Crimson Painter joining us in the chat. How you doing, bud? Mostly Zen. Why use the Templar contrast instead of Null Oil here? Because I wasn't planning on just darkening the white. I wanted it to look black. So the Null Oil would have given me a darkened down white and a dirty red, whereas I want it to look black, at least at the bottom. So I'm kind of experimenting. I want to see with slightly different techniques and stuff. The more you experiment with paints, the more you sort of learn about them. And I'm still very much experimenting with the contrasts when I'm using them on miniatures, other than my Death Guard and my Imperial Fist. With my Death Guard and my Imperial Fist, I've sort of got set recipes now. I just get some Nazdrag yellow, slap it on those Imperial Fists, and it's nice and simple. And same applies pretty much for the Death Guard, where I thin down Skeleton Horde, I think, a little bit. I think 2 parts Skeleton Horde to 1 part Contrast Medium. Thin it down, and then I whack that all over the armour, and then certain other armour parts. I use certain other colours, like Gorgrunter Fur I use on the trim on the Death Guard miniatures, and Militarum Green on the shoulder pads, shoulder pauldrons and stuff. And then I get Griff Charger Orange on pustules and stuff like that. Bright pustules I like. So that's why I wasn't using Null Oil there. And also the Null Oil, if I've got any, it's all the way down there on the floor, so I'm not reaching down there to grab it. Plastic of your Conquest issue, what I used. Plastic of your Conquest issue is what I used. Excellent stuff. I have to look for those. That's still talking about the beads, I'm guessing. Always glad to share the knowledge. I would leave it like that. Okay. I should have checked that before I slapped another load of paint on it. That's the problem with me in chat when I'm painting on stream. I don't always pay attention to the chat, or I don't always paint. I do one or the other. Got Crimson Painter in the chat. Like I said, work not too bad as a beginner's wet palette to cause the dimples from the paint lids. Turning into Gollum, mate. I am turning into Gollum. I look very much like Smeagol on the verge of becoming Gollum. I've just noticed something. How long ago is that from? Right, I'm just gonna casually act like I know what's going on here. Very sexy Big Mac. Yes, I am. Mowing. It's getting slated for being too woke. Any thoughts on turning the new Space Marine ATV into an Orc buggy? Well, it looks like a looted Orc buggy. The Space Marines have looted it, and they've made it into an ATV. For me, though, I don't like it. But if I was going to turn it into an Orc buggy, I don't think you really need to do that much to it. If you like that old Orc buggy and you want to sort of replicate it. You've got Steve-O in the chat now as well. Thanks very much for joining us, Steve-O. If you were turning the ATV into an Orc buggy, I don't think it's too hard. Just take the Space Marines off, put some Orcs on. It depends how the kit goes together, though, because with the new Orc buggies that we've seen, the Wasbomb Blaster Jet, the Boomdaka Snaz Wagon, and the Shock Jump Dragster, and so on and so forth, they go together in weird ways. So it might not be that easy to swap the Marines out for Orcs. It might not be as simple as just like, boom, take them out, put them in. But depending on whether it is that easy, it could be a really simple conversion. And I'd just add a load of dags to it, basically. I'll get a picture of it up here. I can't, unfortunately, screen share. Well, I could screen share, but I'd have to set up a new feed. I'm going to go to... Oh, I've got the Warhammer community site open, actually. Where is it? Indomitus Focus. Get on your... Oh, that's the bikes, probably, isn't it? Just the bikes. Oh, those bikes look tasty, though. Some people don't like the bikes. Oh, they've got the profiles on the website now, on the community website. Interesting. Movement 14, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 5, wounds 4, attacks 2, leadership 7, save 3+. It's like a 4 wound. Isn't that just like a 4 wound Space Marine bike? It seems pretty similar. There's probably some other rules in there. Well, you didn't ask about the bikes, so I don't know why I'm talking about the bikes. Where has it gone? Here we go. Preview Beyond the Box. Just going to have a look at this ATV for myself. Yeah, I think, like I said, it looks very similar to the old Orc buggy anyway. So I don't think it's too much of a job to swap out those Space Marines and use it. Just had a huge peal of thunder. Is it a peal of thunder, or have I made that up? Like a peal of bells? Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a stretch to just swap them out and put some Orc boys on. You could take the truck boy, put him in the driving seat instead of the Space Marine, the one that drives the truck, and put the actual steering wheel on instead of those handlebars. I think a steering wheel might look okay in this kit, you know, especially if you're going to use it as an Orc buggy. And then the guy standing up behind, you could even take that old ugly Orc, I wouldn't personally, the fat Orc that stood on the buggy behind holding whatever weapon it was, the big shooter, the twin big shooter, or the flamers, whichever variant of the buggy you had, and just place him on the back there if you wanted to do it. Like I said though, I don't know, it's kind of grown on me a little bit since I first looked here. That quite often happens with me in Space Marine kits. I hate them at first, like this one I was like, no. If I was going to get one of these, I think I'd lean into the Mario Kart vibe that everybody says it has. I didn't see it at first, I just thought it looked like a Lego kit. But if I was going to get one of these and use it in a Space Marine army, or even in an Orc army, I think I'd lean into that Mario Kart vibe, just for fun. Just a little fun side project, crossing the streams a bit, GW and Nintendo. What harm could it do, eh? Yeah, that's how I'd approach that. I'd just swap out the boys, swap out the tin heads for the boys, and then put dags on it. Can't really. I'd probably take some Death Dread shoulder pads, put them over the front wheels to act as like mud guards, sort of. Probably put flaps coming off the back of them as well, and take off that boxy rear mudguard and do the same on the rear wheels. You know what? That kit, now I'm looking at it, the more I'm looking at it, the more it's growing on me, to be fair. But that guy in front, that driver's going to be deaf, isn't he? As soon as that gun's fired above him, it's about that far away from his head. It's like here. He'd be like, ah. I hope that helmet is proper sound dampening, otherwise he's going to be knackered. The chat is going off now. Steve-O's joined us. Steve-O, of course, comes into the chat when I'm getting ready to wrap things up, because I'm up early in the morning, like I said. Anyway, let's get back to where I was. Right, so I've addressed the Red Scope question of any thoughts on turning the new Space Marine ATV into an Orc buggy. Next question, Steve-O's just dropped a video that you have to watch. Is that about turning the ATV into a buggy? I imagine it is. Oh, he's only come here to plug his video, I bet. That's probably why he's here. Turned up in the chat all of a sudden. He always seems to do that on Skarne's, on Plastic Croc Gaming's videos. He'll pop into the chat when he's got a video to plug. Big Mechadon School will enjoy it for sure. Howdy. Hey. Steve-O's here, as you can tell from the hey. Hey guys. That's my Steve-O impression for you. What's cracking it? Scott Roxy the Riveter in the chat as well. Check out Gear Guts. He's created a new vehicle based on the Space Marine vehicle. Much better model in my opinion. I've not seen it yet, but I'll have a look at it. I do like some of Gear Guts stuff. His vehicles especially are fantastic. And if you've not watched Steve-O's video already about the Orc war bosses, the war bosses of the Apocalypse being turned into miniatures, the rain is coming down again now. I think my house is going to fall down tonight. If you've not watched that video, go over to Steve-O's channel once this stream has ended and check that video out. It's really, really cool what he's doing. Check out, read that one. All the new crew here, I see. They're all here. All the crew here rather than new crew, sorry. Just watch your vid. Shh. A lot of people chatting in the chat. I was wondering where you were when your video dropped. Don't worry, he doesn't pay attention. Wow, this chat is going off now. Woo! This should be a reaction video. BRB, I have to go... I have to go peel a thunder. You guys know YouTube chat rules. Basically, don't swear unless you have a wrench. What wrench? I swear. I was going to ask that. Lol, his helmet can resist space. It's probably good for sound dampening too. I wouldn't be too sure of that. I wouldn't be too sure of it. It might do. You know, it might be fine. But you got to... Maybe you just got some earplugs in and that works fine. Oh, right, okay. Somebody tried to share Steve-O's video in the chat, I think. That message can be approved, the Bard. I don't know how to find a message that's not been approved. But, yeah, that's fine. Right, you know what? I'm going to call it a day, guys. Because before I go, though, I will show you one last time. Oh, it looks a mess now. I definitely should have stopped when Grumpy Guy Gaming said I'd leave it there. Definitely should have stopped. You live and learn, though. Don't worry, it's just a peel of rain. Can I make this chat 18 plus? No. My channel is... I try and keep it family friendly, so the chat has to stay family friendly. Just because I've got relatives and friends and children that might watch, so yeah, it stays like that on my channel. What was I going to do? Oh, I was going to show you the desk cam again. So I'm going to show you where I'm up to with this, if it goes to it. Oh, I thought it had done the same thing as last time. Yeah, so this is where I'm up to with the checker pattern. I think it's a little too dark for me now, unfortunately. But that's where I'm up to. That's where I got to. And I'll just stick this arm on here. And I got some bone colour on those tusky bits as well. I can never remember how this arm goes back together. But yeah, that's the Flesh Terror Red there. And then I went Flesh Terror Red on here on the checks as well. And then I went over the Flesh Terror Red with some Black Templar, dragging it down to the bottom to try and get more pigment at the bottom. And it sort of worked, but I need to go back in and highlight the top bits of red now because it's just too dirty. I wasn't intending to do that with the Black Templar. I was going to paint in each square, each checker, one at a time. But I decided to try that and it sort of hasn't worked. So I'm going to have to go back in and fix that up off stream when I get some chance. Let's all laugh at Ghazghkull. Right, good night. Hope you get enough rest for work shift. I'm sure I will. I don't think I'm driving in the morning. I think my father is going to drive. Come on, show us what you've done. Well, I've shown you now. Yeah, so any swear words, it's up to mods, exactly, yeah. Not fully on screen. Oh, the thing wasn't fully on screen. Well, that's no good, is it? I'll hold it up again, and hopefully it will be. The top looks dirty compared to the sides now. Yeah, I'm gonna go back in, address the checks at the top. I'm gonna go back in, address the checks at the top, and then I'll probably go over the top with the same sort of. If I do try the Black Templar again, just go over the top. But I reckon I'll maybe pick out those two top checks and see how that looks after that. But I'm not too sure. Like I said, I'll find a way to fix it. Steve-O saying, lovely work, Dan. Thanks very much. Does Zog count? Zog doesn't count. You're allowed to say Zog in the chat. That's absolutely fine. I'm in a foul-mouthed funky monk. Much better. Dude, it's okay. Dude, it's orcs. Thanks very much. Right. So, oh, you know what I've not done? I've not added an end clip to the video. So what I'm going to do is just give you... Well, that's interesting. It looks like my stream's frozen. So I'm going to call it a night there, guys. No, it's not frozen. It's okay. I'm going to call it a night there, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Turn this that way. And I'll see you on the battlefield.